Sim, sim, sim.
So uh, gives us so much joy, especially of what it attempts to do. But before we go on, let's just say a word of prayer. Father, tonight we want to thank you for the opportunity to come together and sharpen each other. We ask as any lack of letting now we ask for you're the wisdom. So tonight grant us wisdom. Jesus. So tonight, welcome to a wonderful wisdom class tonight. And tonight, we're starting a series, a leadership series. I am excited because I'm telling you, this is an area that everyone needs to be a partaker. Fortunately, our world has done so much damage as society. The kind of information that we're growing up has damaged us so much that this is a topic that sometimes a lot of people exempt themselves from. But the actual reality is everyone is supposed to pursue and become. You are born a leader. Your mandate is a leadership mandate. However, you need to become that leader. Be. Our world needs leadership. The problem for our world today is a leadership problem, starting with our own personal life, going to our own families, going to our own communities, going to our nations, our government, our organization, our institutions, our schools, universities, our churches, our community, everywhere. Real issue. Leadership determines everything. That is why this is talking about everyone. The moment we begin to actually identify our role and actually play our role, then we can begin a trace of recovery. So today I'm starting a new series and it's really understanding our role on the face of the earth. But today we want to check out some keys that as must exert or exercise. Keys or principles leaders must exercise. Understanding our role on earth. We have a dominion, and we got to understand the concept of that. Dominion means to govern. Dominion means to to control. Dominion, much more. That concept is the concept of leadership. That means we are all supposed to leadership on the earth. Hence, we are all leaders. But you, I become a leader that I'm. So I start with a question: why leadership? Why leadership? We're in a global crisis. This particular crisis is a global one. It's everywhere, in respect of the nation, the country, your creed, your color, wherever you're on the face of the earth. This is one major crisis that everybody is suffering together. So I said our world is in crisis. Our world is currently suffering from the deficiency of leadership. Look, you just need to look around you. Look in your own personal life. Look in your community. Look in the business, government that we're surrounded. There's a deficiency of leadership. I always say to people that a politician by default, a politician lives only to win an election. A politician needs to, transit from a political seat. A leader is one that has found willing to die for. Those are kind of people God, our world, our community. So in the context we're looking for, we have a deficiency of leadership context, families, nation, of our government, of our institution, our world leadership, global crisis. Let me show you God's original intent right from the beginning, Genesis 26. And God said, let us make man in our own image, after our own likeness, and let them have dominion. That means let them have leadership over the earth. That that literally, that text literally is let them take responsibility. Leadership is about taking responsibility. Let them take charge. It means let them influence the earth. Let them influence. Let them influence. Let them solve the problems of the earth, because leadership is solving problems. Let them impact it. How impact my life is your how impactful. It doesn't matter, you follow your creed, your job, your educational background, but are you in? Let them govern it purposefully. Let them govern it purposefully. That is what I'm talking about. It means everyone has a role. I dare to challenge you to men, women, all creed, all color, wherever you're logged on, your Facebook, your YouTube, wherever you're logged on, or on the Zoom platform, I challenge you. You and I, everyone, including young, old, including men from all creed, anywhere. You're in Africa, you're in Western Europe, you're in America. You and I, we have a role to play in taking responsibility for what happens in your community. You have a responsibility to play in your church, in your family, in your house. You have a role to play in your community, in the country where you live. You have a role to play. Many are only complaining to people are complaining about what is happening in Africa. I see a whole lot of craziness. Now we have a world of fake news. We have a world of overload of information. We have a whole world of staged. Everybody's complaining. I was speaking forums, old boy forum, and we have about three different forums. There's one that is just open to all manner of banter, there. And literally all they complain about is the state of governance, in our country, in Africa, in certain countries and things like that. And I had to pause one day, sometimes I open it up and I see about 1,000, messages. I'm thinking, oh, I just have to pause it. I say, guys, okay, we know everybody seems to be an expert in politics, in governance. Everybody knows what is wrong. Everybody can criticize the government. I say, okay, can we just become a solution, offer some solution? And it was like everybody went, no. I'm thinking, okay, everybody knows the problem. Everybody seems to theoretically, know everything that's going wrong. It's going to be the solution. Our world is looking for solution providers. Leaders are people that create ambition. Leadership is not a theory, but leadership is about your practical participation in bringing solution into your world, starting from where you are seated right now, starting with your family, starting from your community, starting from the job that you're doing. You need to actually play the role. Leadership is about taking responsibility. We need to take responsibility, or else we will only be like parasites. Some people live in the world today to parasite. That means you're just taking out of there. You're just, gleaning. You're just living out of what is already there. That some people sacrifice for. Now, what are you adding? Are you adding value? Want your even that national or business place, or that government office, like our role actually is leadership. And that role begins with one thing. It begins with, I say, that role, our role of leadership begins with self-discovery. For those who are just joining us, platforms on Facebook, welcome to JD and our focus in this series, leadership. We want to look at some that we must exercise for our leadership to be impactful. This is a global topic. This is a global crisis. We have a deficiency of leadership, starting from personal. Because look, if my life does not have the correct leadership, I'm doomed. With the wrong direction, I will contribute. I'll be of no value to my life. And leadership literally is your mandate. The mandate of humanity is to dominate. The word dominion is actually the concept of leadership, taking responsibility, serving it, purposefully impacting it. It's a demand. Let me tell you, friends, leadership is the number one need of the 20. Leadership is the number one need of the 20. It doesn't matter how much we speak in tongues, it doesn't matter how long we pray. Prayer is good, but prayer needs to practicalize. That is why the greatest supreme argument for the greatest leader, and that means, and he says, imitate me. We need to actually be a problem solver. We need to actually be impactful. Sure. Our companies, our churches, our governments, our schools, our families are in need. We need to get right now. Our world, number two, leadership determines everything. It controls what happens. The quality of leadership controls what happens. Countries, in our organization. Look at the state of our world. There's a crisis everywhere you turn. There's something wrong. In even the first world, the second world, the third world, whatever world that you're in, there is a crisis. We're just trying to come out of a pandemic right now, and that whole pandemic thing also was part of the symptom of deficiency of leadership. Our organization depends on the leadership charge. Our world today is a product of the quality of leadership in every facet. So leadership is the solution to the problem. Get the right leadership. Our world is looking for solution. Our world is in. You just need to turn on the TV. Shocked. Yeah. The other day I was watching the Prime Minister of Israel, that he was back at how far from that they had for the war and how they're taking the lead. What he was literally showing to us, how Israel was taking the lead in providing solutions in different areas. In agriculture, they were showing where they were about 20, 30 years ago and to where they are right now and how they've taken the lead. Yet a very small group of people, a little number of people, how they've taken the lead in aviation, how they've taken the lead in technology, how they've taken it. So literally was saying, look, our country, our nation is continually developing its leadership. That is why it's so relevant. Some people might think it's all because it's a religious nation. No, they're not just sitting and say we've been praying so much and we've been reading, the Torah or been reading the Bible. Yes, they've been doing all of that, but they've been putting all that to an advantage to take the lead. So as a believer, we have all the tools that is supposed to launch us in the lead. We using that, or just are congregating. Leadership is the eyes of the organization and provides vision for it provides vision for the it provides vision for the where are we literally? Where is our family going? Where is our country going? Where is our organization going? Where is our lives really have a picture of the future that our lives go? So leadership focuses destiny or a destination. That is why the ultimate goal of our lives must be leadership. The ultimate goal of our lives must be. Now, also let us look at some terms before we go into. Then the focus today is principles, exercise, leadership to back. This is session one. What is leadership? I'm going on and on different, definition concepts on. But I'm going to limit that today just to the context of where I want us to go. Now, a guy said in Harvard Business School, favorite, he said, leaders are people who leave their footprints. There are quite a number of things that you go to. Leaders are people. Leaders are ordinary people, of which you and I were part of. But they're not just people that do nothing. They're people that leave their footprints in their areas of passion. One, you discover your area of passion. Now, what are you doing about your area of passion? Are you complaining? Are you giving an excuse? Or are you working to leave a footprint in that area of passion? While many are complaining, even through the pandemic, while many are complaining, all the time people always have an excuse not doing what they're supposed to do, while some are busy working on their areas of passion and, and leaving their footprints that they become a reference. Jonathan Bynes said that, Harvard Business School. The leaders are people who leave their footprints in areas of passion. We discover Warren Bennis, leadership guru as well. He said leadership is the capacity to put vision into. Now, we talk about vision all the time. Our companies, there's no organization that wants to be, worthwhile doing anything, worthwhile, that will not craft out a vision. We have ministries, we have institutions, we have organizations that craft out vision. We conceive visions as individuals. We conceive vision, but it's not only about conceiving vision. You have the capacity to translate your vision into reality, or else the vision might literally become a nightmare. So unity is about developing capacity in order to translate vision. We don't only talk about the vision. We talk about vision. We cast vision. We write down vision. We word vision with nice words. But do we have the capacity to, the vision into reality? Oh, Bill Gates said something fantastic quote. I'll never forget. As we look ahead into the leaders, with those who empower, leaders are those who raise others, who make others better, who create enabling environment for, who nurture others, who challenge others to be better. That means you and I, we're supposed to be an enabling environment to others, to our young children, to our men, to our women, churches, in our families. We need to be enabling environment. Personally, people should walk into your lives and their lives never remain the same. I remember all the time, every time I spent with my mentor of glory, Miles Monroe, was an enabling environment. It was every second was to make me better. Every second of discussion, of challenge and provoking and teaching was to make me better, and better even to all the people that I would. That was what. So I saw a great leader. John Maxwell said, leadership is influence, nothing more. That means if you're not influencing you're not influencing your environment, you're not influencing your family, you're not your business environment, your workplace, then your leadership actually be deficient. So we have deficiency of leadership if you cannot actually show, you cannot see the impact of your influence. How influential are you, your community, in your world? What are you influencing in your world today? In the midst of all the craziness of any influence going on. Leadership is about this. What are you influencing? Challenge us today. This is supposed to be a provoking session, get us to think out of the box. J.D. Modedi says, and this is where I want to really zero in, focus on. Leadership is the discovery of self and impacting your world to this. Whatever you have not discovered about yourself, because leadership is inherent inside of you. Until but that what is inside of you cannot actually serve it out for you. And your world is waiting for what is leadership. Listen, the primary aspect of mankind, the the primary aspect of you and I, white, black, young, old, male, female, is a discovery of yourself in order to make impact. The primary aspect of mankind is to discover yourself in order to make impact. However, listen to this. There are principles that we need to exert, that we need to exercise for our impact to be felt. You want your world to feel your impact. You want your community, you want your workplace, you want your family, you want friends, you want your church to feel your impact. You need to study certain principles that is necessary for that you need to exercise. We need to also cultivate right mindset of. We need to cultivate the mindset of dominion. We need to understand principles that a leader should exhibit, that will make us impactful, valuable with a crisis-ravaged world. So you could decide that you're just going to, go with the flow, go with the status quo, just enjoy the crisis. That I want to make a difference. It doesn't matter how big, how small, make a difference wherever you are, because you are designed to be a unique individual, and your uniqueness is supposed to bring something unique. Your thinking must connote leadership. You're not designed to be a victim of a crazy world. You're not designed, to just go with the flow. Who we are, actually connotes an ability. We have ability that is resident in us, and we also have a thinking or a mentality that's supposed to make a difference. Now, these two, our ability and the mentality can be a great challenge because of the way culture does. So we have what we call a contaminated mentality that is fused with false ideas. Life has put a limit on us. Life has put a cap on our life. Life has told us what we can do, what we cannot do, where we can live, where we can buy, where we can go, and where we cannot go to. Life has told us, where it told us there's a barrier. You cannot do this. You don't fit into this. Life has put a limit on us. Hence, we tend to settle for less. We have become a people that operate below our potential. Our potential, we're so potent that we have the limitless ability of God. We talk about this, we preach, but do we really tap into that potential? Potential is the strength that you have not yet exercised. Potential is the stretch you can make that you have not yet made yet. Potential is the height you can go to, but you have not attempted. You have not dared to even go. That's why my assignment is to challenge everything making you less than you are. That is the purpose of this particular. I've come to challenge your limitation. I've come to challenge your current mentality, to take you out of the box. I've come to challenge you out of the box and cancel society's conclusion about you, what the teacher said about you. Some of the education that we have literally have decided and concluded on us that we cannot become. I've come to do something. Listen, I call this the leadership belief. Believe you have an immeasurable ability. The ability that is inside of you is immeasurable. I want you to put this in your psyche that I, Jide Demonede, I have an immeasurable ability that is resident. You got to look at yourself in the mirror. Look at that man. Tell it to your face all the way. I have what it takes to make a difference. I have immeasurable ability. Look at your face. Look at yourself eyeball to eyeball. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I have immeasurable ability. I have what it takes to make a difference in my life. I have what it takes to take responsibility. I have what it takes to solve some of the problems in the world. Listen, to exercise leadership, believe that you must believe you are inherently a leader. To exercise leadership, a lot of people don't have this belief. Yes, I believe. But you got to believe that Jesus is active in you for a purpose. Number one, you must believe that you are inherently a leader. If you believe this does not become a belief system, you will see yourself as just part of the crowd, just a follower going to nowhere, of no significance, of no meaning to your world. You were born to lead. You were born, it's in you. Then, when you make an announcement, you have to make a discovery. There is something in you. There's no man, no woman, no one created that's very put their. You have to make a discovery, and this is one of the things that is changing because are not we don't have enabling environment to challenge the quality and the better version of us out of. We have environments that subjugate, subordinate, that create us as subject or make us subject. Now, I was studying a word when my by some years now, where the word subordinate. Literally, the world talks about. You see managers and people, decisions of so-called all others. It's a very dangerous word. It's a word that you must any other. Sub means to be, and subordinate means that means you are below ordinary. So a subordinate makes you to be below ordinary. It's a Greek term. And it's a very dangerous thing. So you got to believe you were born to exercise. All of us are born equal, just different. Everyone is equal, no matter where you live, what your color is. You got to let people know. You got to let your children, let your friends know. The people working together, we are all equal, just different function. So becoming a leader is one thing, but exercising it requires belief. Becoming a leader is one thing, exercising a belief system, a thinking out of the box. That's why I want us to follow this series very, very, very passionate package, to convince as many that will give their attention to where's the platform that there's a leader in you. Your world needs you. Solution. Your community needs you as a solution. Governments are waiting. Doesn't matter where you can go into politics, you can go into governance, either in the United Kingdom, the United States, like a young into governance of community in the United young lady, she's a Nigerian and she's only just making a lot of difference in there. And she's looking forward to providing solution to also you and I. It's not all about we going to a job. This can be very, this was one thing that really got me. I don't know what happened to me at some point in my life, but and it's not that I need resources, I need money and things like that. But I got to the place where just going to job, coming back, getting paid, and that's it. Wake up the next day, go to job, come. I'm thinking, making more. I needed more. I needed to, do more. And can you imagine? Just quit a job, go look for area of income. So this is a series that is ready to challenge the leader that is inside of you waiting for you in that way. But I want to provoke you to connect with you. This series will get you to connect with your real self because you need to know your true self. So self-discovery, as I said, is essential to your impact on it. Self-discovery is essential to the impact that you make on. And the key reason of a relationship. Now, let me tie this with faith because always one say this is not. I'm not. And these sessions are not. However, in order for you to understand where your faith lies in all of it, your relationship with God, the key reason of your relationship with God is not just for you to have, devotional experiences, but more so, for you to get to know yourself. There's something that created you to do on earth. Something interrupted the plan. So God created salvation. So the purpose of man is salvation was just to restore us back part of we discovering ourselves. And so salvation is to get us back on the path that we can discover our purpose and go serve that purpose. Sometimes when we talk about salvation, we just need to get the world saved. After we get the world saved, you get saved in order for you to get back to the purpose for which you are created. Are you getting the point? So the church sits on a religious experience every day talking about a problem, and a problem like very problem. We are never talking about how we can become a solution. So the world sometimes are not really interested in this in the church. It's supposed to be the ground and the pillar of truth. We are supposed to be the solution. We are supposed to solve the problem of our world, but we're busy, sucked in our own personal problems day on today. We're busy sucked, confused by the devil itself. The key reason of your faith in God, self-discovery is essential impact. You are inherently a leader. That is your born with it. Challenge is over it. Your leadership inside of you, inherently a leader. You have to discover it. You need to understand that leadership is not trying to make others. It's not cloning. It's not imitation. It is challenge to release yourself. I've come tonight to announce to somebody that look, there's a better version of you. You are currently, displayed. There's a better version of you that you need to that needs to be released. There's a better version of you that you need to find. And leaders are people also that help others discover, why you're doing. You need to be challenging to find. It's a version of you. So scripture, your whole earth is awaiting the manifestations It's a better version of your community, your business place, your family, friends. It is helping others. Leadership is not imitation of. Now, let's look at some of the talking about that we need to welcome again for those who are just joining us. It's on time, lady. Welcome to our session tonight. It's a leadership series that we start to have a group crisis that is due to deficiency. However, mankind is created for the of leadership. Leadership is serve solution, take govern our world. We're supposed to make this place much better. We're supposed to craft a vision of how this world could be, and make it a reality. So tonight, you're in the right class. Don't think you're in the wrong class tonight. Because, look, it's inside of you. Either your parents told you, your teachers did not tell you, your school did not tell you, they made you a subject or they made you a subordinate. You are not a subordinate because subordinate means to be below ordinary. You are not below ordinary. You are in the class of divinity. You are in the class of God. Ye are gods, and all of you are children. But they know not that. And so we suffer and fall like the prison. We are messed up. Now, keys to exercise are so that our number one, and this is always where to start from. That's the basis. You and I must purpose. See, purpose the subject of, and you just teach. It's life itself. This is required for leadership to be, for your leadership to be, but you need to discover purpose. So without purpose, life has no meaning, no direction. And so we're just picking it up. We're just on a try and error line. Your reason, purpose is your reason for existence. And this reason for existence is what introduces you to your reason for existence introduces you in life without purpose. It's frustrating. You don't want to wake up when you're 75, 80 and think, and you still don't have a sense of significance. It is the original purpose, is the original intent to exist. Anything that you don't know the reason for it will lead to an abuse, abnormal use. Am I am I am I am I, am I correctly using myself? Am I putting myself to good use? The time and the life that am I putting it to the best use? Am I putting this my very life to perfect use? Does my living, all that I'm doing right now, does it have meaning? We got to sit down. You got to chat. I was chatting with some of these things into some food like that. I began to have a concern because I didn't think as that was. I thought there was more. I believe there was more. I was challenged to look. Purpose is the reason for the existence. That is foundational for your life to be meaningful. Look, if you don't do anything and purpose, if you don't have, if your bank balance doesn't go past, two figures, two zeros, three, yet you find purpose, I'm telling your life. People have interesting bank balance that can break, walls, break barriers of figures. Yet life is without. Number two, you capture a vision. It is very important. You start with discovery. You must. It's not a suggestion that you can or try. No, no, no. You must cover vision for you. You must capture a vision for your life. Listen, purpose is the source of vision. So you need to start with purpose. Purpose is the source of, because vision is your purpose in pictures. Vision is seeing how your life can be or should be. It's seeing literally your future, and you begin to live from the future. Because if you keep on seeing only the present, it's frustrating and it's discouraging. Where you are right now can be very discouraging, but if you captured a vision of your future, then that gives you the energy, gives you the drive. You literally have something, it creates hope. That is why leaders create hope for those who are prosperity. So it creates hope because they always live for the future. Vision is a photograph of your purpose. Vision is a picture or is a photograph of your purpose, or the future of how things could be, not how things are. If you only see how things are, look around you and see how things are. Depressing. But purpose, your reason for being born, vision is when you see it. Vision allows you to see your purpose. So your purpose in picture. Now, when you discover this, then it opens you to what? It opens you to share your inspiration. So literally, the third key is you must share your inspiration. Inspiration is generation of meaning, generation of meaning other people. So a leader sells their idea that stirs up the desires for greatness in others. So you're not discovering your leadership, you don't inspire others, and literally you are not helping our world or helping others, to desire for greatness. But when you share your inspiration, when you capture your vision, you begin to inspire others. And you need to share that inspiration because your inspiration literally creates a desire. You inspire others to desire for greatness. You finding and discovering yourself is vital to other people around you. Finding your place, going for what you see inspires others also to rise up, from where they're seated. That is, you need to continually talk about your vision. You need to talk about it. You need to talk about a better future than and this continually drives you. Continually drives you. You talk about what you want to do, how it impacts you, how it impacts your environment, how it impacts the future, how it impacts things like that. I find myself sometimes like, no, the things I talk about, but I said we have to change paradigm. We have to change it. It's going to be costly. Some people will have to pay the price. Where we are today, some people pay the price. They work, they eat it, content for it to change. Now, we've been sitting on what a lot of people centuries and years and hundreds of years ago, and it's not working anymore. We got to change it rather than just talk about the problem. Like in a country like in Africa, some countries like Africa, for example, a place like Nigeria, people are talking about the problems. People are complaining. People blame one person. People blame the president. Blame the governor. Look, all that doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. We've been doing that. We've been blaming every government I know that ever existed in Nigeria. For example, we blame. In America, we blame them. We blame Obama. And we say Obama didn't do anything. We blame the president. Obama is bad. We don't even look at the system. Then we had a Trump. Oh my God. We blame. Tony Blair. After that, we blame. We blame. We always have somebody to blame rather than actually value change. Leaders always talk about what they think of the body. They talk about their conviction. Why is it important that we talk about it? Talking about it is to distribute your your vision and your purpose. You talk because the people who need to help you fulfill the vision needs to know about it. So you're not talking about the solution, doesn't get the people that needs to support to know about it. Vision is not given to be fulfilled by just. That's why when you capture a vision, you've got to talk about your vision. You need to market yourself. Your world needs you. There's something that is inherent to you that you're supposed to serve to your world. But if you're going to serve something more than your world, you need to market it. You talk about it. There's something in you that nobody knows. So and we're feeling frustrated because we don't have the resources. But look, listen, the resources is in the hands of some other people that need to know that the product that they're looking for is here. So don't worry about, sometimes, we tend to feel somebody's going to steal our vision. Nobody can do what you're talking about. It will attract those who carry the resources for it. Talking about your vision will attract the resources that you have. Now, not everyone will agree with your vision. Some will think it's crazy. Some will pray for you. Some will be negative. They give a negative attitude towards negative response. Just keep going, but you stop. You don't stop it. Somebody's. Number 4, exercise leader. You must commit to principle. Look, this is so essential to. It is so important to you and I. Whether father, as a father, as a leader, as a manager, as a pastor, whatever your position, you must commit to principles and values. Very important key. What are the things that you value? What are the things that, because look, we have nations that has no value system. We have communities that we've lost focus of values. So when we are looking, we're complaining about things and not looking at really rudiments of fundamental things that needs to be. We don't have a proper value system. Principles, they're keys for effective function. Yet the same, principles keep you stable wherever you might be. Principles are always the same. It doesn't matter where you go. Either you're in the western world, you're in the third world, you're in the bush, you're in the city. Principles that make life effective are always the same. So it keeps you stable. To become a leader, there has to be something you promise yourself you will not do. So if I get myself into this position, this I will not do. We already know that some of the people that we are supporting and we're electing into offices, they're people without principle, and we're now expecting something, miracle just to change them overnight. No. So our world is complaining about what it set itself up to really do. I was sharing with the government sector some of the things that we're experiencing in some of our countries. We set it up. We did it to ourselves. We are only just experiencing the symptoms now. We've been doing it long. Anytime you compromise values, you law, and then you are setting yourself up for a very insecure nation. For example, right now, I'm correct in the country of Nigeria, and we have a lot of. But the insecurity didn't start now. Let me show you, how deep this is. The insecurity has always been in place. Every time we've bribed our way through the ports, through the entry points into the country. Every time you have to give up, money in order, for them not to exercise or enforce the law. Every time you have to come beg somebody to let you get something that you are not, qualified for. Every time we did that, we made our nation. So it becomes a fruitful ground. It becomes, a place where insecurity and all manner of things can literally, thrive. So we got to understand that what is happening, literally everyone has a role to play in it as well. So to becoming a leader, there has to be some things you promise yourself you will not do. You must personally commit to standards you will not violate. I will not violate these standards. Commit to a code of ethics, set of values. And that is what our world is suffering right now. Yes, people look at great men now because they have a big congregation, they don't even check the value system. They violate a whole lot of things, but we're not looking at that. We're just looking at the charisma. What our world is focused on right now is interesting. But five, you must express passion. You must express passion will always require willingness to die. You know what passion? Passion is desire that is that death. Leaders are people who have found what they're willing to die for. Today, most people we call leaders are only willing to live. And have you found die for? Can I challenge you? Have you found something you're willing to die? Because passion is desire stronger than. So leaders express their passion. They keep repeating their passion. They're so passionate they can't stop. And that's why the proof of passion is repetition. They continue to repeat themselves on the same thing. If you talk passionately about something, occasionally, it was only a joke. That means you're not really serious about it. But when you conceive a vision, keep talking about it. Others might not see it, but you keep talking about it. It might not, it might not as even gain any ground, but you keep talking about it until it's the problem you were born to solve. So you keep talking about it. When you discover what you're supposed to do, you keep talking about it comes up in your conversation all the time. It's like a pregnant woman. You might not see the pregnancy yet, but it keeps growing. It keeps growing until suddenly you just see, oh, when did you get pregnant? I said, wow, last 6 months, 3, 4 months I've been pregnant, but it didn't see out. Some of our vision right now, I've not seen it in the last, not seen anything coming up, but you're talking about it, even though it's not last 5, 6, 7. It's coming, it's growing, it's growing. My question is it that what is it that what brainchild have you conceived? What is it have you conceived in your spirit that is yet to manifest, but you're in spite of where you are right now? What are you pregnant with that your world not yet see? What is it that you're pregnant with that your world cannot see? But that thing is meant to impact your world. Challenges. 6, leaders and your guests will be go for the generation. Leaders are people. There must be a desire in you and I to empower and make others. There must be a desire that you crave daily. Please don't just do everything. Whatever you're doing right now, you make it else better. Do you have a plan, or are you doing things that helps to improve others? The goal of our and leadership was to make others great. You must create room for others. You must create room for others in your space. Use your life, use your time, use your skill, use your position. I see how people and they use their positions to suppress, subjugate others. Use your position. There's some people that are in positions right now. I'm talking, and I can see that they're not using their positions to do anything. They're only using it for just collect the pay and driving around in luxury cars and I'm saying, okay, let's do something. Let's develop. Let's deliver the land. And they keep on giving you excuses and excuses. Make the weak believe that they're strong. That's what you're supposed to do. Let the poor see that they can become rich as well. Don't just make them see that, oh no, one is meant to be rich and one's meant to be. Give the lost, a roadmap. Yeah, possible. I can guide you. Leaders give people hope. That is your assignment. You're responsible to giving hope to one person, to 2%, to a community, somebody around you that is lost. You're supposed to give a map, a roadmap. Leaders give people, they make others believe in themselves. That is why you need to believe in yourself. Discovery of yourself and believing yourself is vital to you making others discover and believe. 7, you must engage discipline. Very important. Very important point. One of the problems with our world today is a great aura of indiscipline. We have an indiscipline society. Indiscipline has become the lifestyle. People are so indisciplined and people celebrate it. They literally exalt indiscipline. This is very key in order to our purpose. You need a very narrow life. But a very, that doesn't allow everything to come, doesn't allow everything to go through. Leaders are people that they just don't hang out anywhere and with anything. They don't keep any kind of association. So we need to be strict on. Don't wait for somebody to be strict on your life. Don't be strict on yourself. Create that strictness. So sometimes people say, that person is too strict. My dad is too strict. My uncle is too strict. Look, you need a very narrow life that is strict on yourself. Don't wait for somebody to be strict on you. To be great, you will need a narrow life, because a narrow life, narrow is the road that leads to life itself. It doesn't allow too many things to fit in. It doesn't allow all the junk to fit in. Certain things you can't do. Why? Because you don't have the space for them. A lot of things you can't do because you don't have the space for them in your life. So self-discipline is a mark of a true leader. Self-discipline is a mark of a true leader. That is why today our world is deficit, has a deficiency of leadership. I've seen leaders of nations, of countries, presidents, of countries that have no discipline for their mouth, no discipline for their ways, for their actions, for their attitude. I saw a leader once, who seems to be a governor or who manages a whole state or something like that, and his attitude towards the citizens that voted him in, his speech had no decorum in it. He just vomits stuff out. I'm thinking, what? No discipline. Self-discipline is a mark of a true leader. Discipline yourself against things that can destroy, that can short-circuit your purpose. There's something that can short-circuit our purpose. You got to discipline yourself against it. As a leader, let me tell you, where your values is secret. Your values are still. That's why you see great organizations. One of the things, you go to their site, you go to they will display these are the values of a company. These are the asset value core. We call them the core values of this. And that core values is supposed to discipline us. It's supposed to keep us in a narrow path. That these are the things that we value in this organization. For example, PMI, Liberty House, yeah, our core values keep us on that narrow path. Yes, there's a whole lot of things. They say, look, all things are permissible, obedience or to us. People should not invite you from or compromise values or break law, or else that means there's something wrong already. If people should come to you and believe that I can help them break laws, then that means you are the problem. So you display your convictions in public. You let people know what your values are, what are the things that you value. Number 8, we must manage to exercise our leadership. We need to exert this management of handling resources is a must for us to be able to, because our world is filled with resources. When we don't manage resources very well, it will look like we don't have anything. So we have a lot of countries in some of our nations, in some of the nations in Africa today, is filled with natural resources. Yet the place is a land that is ravaged by bad management. Handling resources is a must. Financial resources, human resource, time resource, skills. Everything is a resource. Everything. How do you manage time? How much do you waste with time? Wasters, how much time you waste on things? I was sharing with my children, my family on our platform on time management. Look, we are all who we are and what we are because of what we did in that time. Whatever you don't have today is because you need that was you need to get to the place where we manifest time. How much advance our lives? How much time do you spend on things that don't advance us? Relationships are resource as well. You got to know how to manage your relationships. Are they assets or are they liabilities or deficit? So we buy into relationships that is taking us towards make sure that relationships are challenging people to do that. What I challenge people to do is that do an inventory of your friends. Do an inventory of your friends. How many of those relations of friendship getting us towards our dream? How many of your friends are leading us towards purpose? You'll be shocked when you find out. Choose your friends according to your purpose, according to your destiny. Choose your friends according to the destination that you're going. Save your energy and time, by investing in the right relationship. I found that look, relationships are so powerful. Relationships are as you're only as rich as the quality of relationship that you keep as well. So you've got to invest in the right relationship. So you can save yourself a lot of energy, a lot of time by investing. I've come into a relationship in the last few months, in the last few weeks, in the last few days as well, that are enhancing what I need to do, even, in my assignments, where I am as well. I've come into a relationship just in a few days that literally has moved certain things, exponentially, quickly. Thinking, knowing the right people, keeping the right set of people around you can literally get a lot of things. So don't just allow people that just suck you dry. People just they take, they just take out of you and they don't invest anything to you. You've got to be very careful kind of relationship. Give one or two more keys. We must manage our. You must be very clear what's important. You must be very clear on what's important and not what's urgent. And we tend to confuse the two things together. What's important and what's urgent. Thing is, no, you must know what's important, then prioritize what's important. Decide what are the important in your life, in your day. What's the important thing to do? You might have a lot of things, just bring everything, just prioritize them. Okay, put them in order of priority. Then manage them. Keep them in the order of importance. Your relationship, for example, relationship with God is highly important. Some people do that their relationship with God is the most relationship they must have. Sometimes they forsake that for the relationship of their friends, for the job, for income. People sacrifice their relationship with God, platform, job. Your relationship with is what determines everything. Your surviving and everything. Next is your relationship with your spouse, your wife, or then your children, then your assignment. Look, don't let something come in between you and family. That's important. Let your priorities be clear. Let your priorities be clear. To sacrifice in the order which and let your priorities be clear. Very important. Number 10, let's just because of our top home. Number 10, key that we must exert mentor. Mentoring others must be part of our life goals. We are where we are in our work because mentorship widely began to look at some of the great men and women in our in the story because mentored the trend in mentoring others part of life goal. If you do not as a leader, you will not see. This is the ultimate measure. This is one of the things that measures you of what your position, what your office is. Who do you leave behind that is whatever you're doing right now? Are you passing on to another? Leaders focus on the future, so they prepare people to protect what built. Have you are you are you, are you preparing others to protect what a mentor put you know what you build? A mentor takes what you started, takes it to the next level. That's what you do to you. A true mentor will protect what you put your life into, and there are very few that do this now in our world. So we begin to suffer symptoms of what. So what am I saying? That true leaders prepare this way. You've got to prepare for the next generation. Invest. Because of our time, I want to pause here today. The great need for you and bring out leadership. The need for our world, the need for is quality. However, leadership is inherent in humanity. Leadership is inherent in all of man, but you got to discover it and exercise it. So all the time we keep on teaching on leadership. Please, no, we're not talking about some strange people, some people in some far place or some position sometimes. It is every man, every man. You have a role to play in our. Let us not just complain. What is it that you're supposed to? What color are you supposed to make out? That is the real asset. Don't let us just be a parasite that take and take. You get paid, you get paid. What value are you adding? What is it that you're creating that is a solution? What are you doing? Have you discovered purpose? Have you discovered the picture of your purpose? Who are you inspiring? Do you live? Have you discovered your passion that you can't talk about? You know, whatever you're not passionate about, and nobody can follow you to do it as well. So passion, is one of the key things about about a leader. You're passionate, passion, very very important. And also, who are you empowering? Are you empowering others? Do you create a desire, to make others better? Are you continually working on others better? You use your life, your time, and precision to others just about. Do we engage discipline? We need a discipline. Self-discipline is very vital, or else we can short circuit what is in. As a leader, you can't, you need to bear your values public. You must manage the results. Are you managing the results? That's sometimes we that we don't have where there's no management, then everything is our time is up today. That is what we promise you. This 1 hour to sharpen each other, wisdom and to develop. I believe this is a good 60 minutes. Now, please don't let us test this time. nothing. I want to challenge and provoke you. Better version of you. I would like you to join me to continue with this series. Same platform, Wisdom Time. Same time, 7. Same platforms, Facebook, YouTube, CM, and also where we continue. Well, thank you so much for that. God bless you. And I look right at the front. Have a beautiful